What's happening, everybody? It's Rod with POW Group. I'm sitting outside my brand new condo. So recently became a new condo owner right in the heart of downtown Edmonton. So loving the location. Here's just a view of outside the building. And the river valley is just behind the building pretty much. I've got a unit on the east facing side, so it rises with the sun. We'll do a tour of the inside here in just a second. So there's the entrance to the building there. And just down the road, about 12 minutes that way, is the Rogers place. So home of the Edmonton Oilers, modern day Wayne Gretzky. That would be McDavid himself. Looking forward to many Oilers games in the future. It's pretty cold out here today. It's about 11 degrees below here in downtown Edmonton.
So just before we head in, I want to do a quick backstory. I'm also going to bring up the map here for you folks to see, and then we'll look at some comparables and why I was so drawn to the Edmonton real estate market. So just as a quick backstory, I recently sold some properties in Prince Edward Island, the east coast of Canada. I purchased them about 5 and 6 years ago. One was a residential house, one was a duplex, and I've been a landlord for the last six years or so. So it was nice to get out of the market. Everything blew up. Obviously, we're in the everything bubble of 2021, and real estate has absolutely taken off in PEI as well. So I decided to get out of that market completely. I sold my last property in the summer, and I was looking at other markets, so, some places to park some cash, and it can be pretty hard to find a place to do that with the everything bubble going on. So I was really drawn to the Edmonton downtown condo market. And there's a variety of reasons of why I was drawn to it, and we'll go over that here in just a second. But in my opinion, Edmonton's a great place to live. The city is absolutely beautiful. And I'll just show you guys here on the map. So this is Hillside Estates, the new condo, downtown Edmonton. And you can see here, it's only a 20-minute walk to the river valley. And it goes all the way, it starts pretty much just after my condo, and then goes all the way down here to the golf course, which is about an 8-minute drive. And then north of the condo, it's only about a 14-minute walk to the Rogers place, as I mentioned, home of the Edmonton Oilers. So great location, in my opinion, right next to the beautiful river valley and the North Saskatchewan River that goes all the way through downtown, the heart of downtown, and just so much to do in the city. Right next to the ETS, so the Edmonton Transit Service as well. So usually in real estate, it's location, 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 and couldn't be happier with the location of this condo. Just want to bring up some comparables here as well, just to, like I said, I mentioned that I saw a variety of things that attracted me to that area. One being that I just love the city of Edmonton. I absolutely fell in love with it when I moved here a couple of years ago. And like I said, just been keeping an eye on the real estate market and seeing how low it has gone. And it's just been an absolute free fall in Edmonton over the last 13 years or so. But I think we're definitely nearing a bottom soon, and we'll just look at some comparables here. And before we look at the Edmonton condo market, but you can see here, this is downtown Toronto. You're looking at a floor price of $170 all the way up to $250,000 just in the first few options, and there's tons of listings there. My friend just purchased a condo in Toronto. It was $500,000, and when I told him I purchased a condo for $70,000 in downtown Edmonton, the first thing that people think is, does it even have floors and walls? Like, what's going on? Why is it so cheap, right? And then just bringing up Halifax, Nova Scotia, on the East Coast as well, you're looking at a floor price of $250,000, so $250,000 starting out for a condo downtown Halifax. If we look at downtown Calgary, you're looking at $219,000 as a floor price, going up to $250,000 in the first few options. And then if we take a look at Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, it starts just for a small unit here in an apartment complex. You're looking at $160,000. Then you're getting into some new builds around $200,000 and $250,000, so around that quarter million. So $250,000 is around the average floor price in all of those markets. So last but not least, the Edmonton condo market. So there's currently 175 listings downtown. There was about 190 listings there about a week or two ago, and I think that a lot of some properties have been selling, but a lot of the condo sellers, they're getting the owners, they're getting a little frustrated, and some of them didn't renew their listings. So it's definitely a buyer's market right now. And again, I've noticed quite a few things about Edmonton that has attracted me to the market. One being that it's such a beautiful city, and this was a great location downtown. Downtown's so close to everything. Also, just the people. It's not a heavily populated area as well, just over 1 million people. And compared to all of the other markets out there, it's unbeatable prices, right? And given how much the market has fallen over the last 13 years, it's a no-brainer for me, very low risk, and generally I'm a contrarian type of investor. So when I talk to anybody who's, basically anybody who's invested in condos in Edmonton over the last 15 years or so is underwater. And, I can understand the concern and whatnot, and the hatred now for that condo market. Because like I said, it's just been a heaping pile of burning cash if you bought in the last decade or so. But when everybody's bearish and everybody, nobody was talking about Prince Edward Island real estate 5 and 6 years ago, and a lot of people told me that I was crazy for buying there, thinking it was going to go up, and I said it was extremely undervalued. And look what happened. We absolutely exploded. So the last thing I want to do is sell high and buy high. So that's why I'm so attracted to the Edmonton market, because these prices are just unbeatable. And if we are in a bubble in real estate, in the everything bubble, how's it going to react when the global real estate markets start to come back down to earth, right? If we start to see a huge correction, well, I think Edmonton may see a little bit of a dip, but personally, I would much rather have my cash sitting in the Edmonton condo market, because if we do drop, how much are we really going to drop from here when some of these these units are going for $75,000? You might even be able to offer them $60,000 for some of these and just put in a little bit of work to them. But how much lower is it really going to go? Personally, I have a long-term time horizon, so I'm going to be looking 5 years, potentially 10 years out, and I'm going to look to hold this using it as an investment property, and then hopefully seeing that huge appreciation over the next 5 to 10 years, similar to what I did in the PEI market. So just be buying low and selling high. It sounds pretty simple, just like stocks and crypto, but it's a lot harder to do than most people think, because people get emotional, especially in the stock market. The stock market's the last place where people want a discount, right? So people hate buying whenever there's blood in the streets, but that's when I buy stocks, is when there's blood and fear in the markets. And then I look to sell when everybody's bullish, right? And the same thing happened with PEI real estate. I was buying when we had tons of bank foreclosures and everybody thought I was crazy. And then I bought 2 properties actually, and I've recently sold those. Now everybody and their dog is looking for a house in PEI because they get FOMO, right? That fear of missing out, and they see the prices rising and rising and rising, and they say, well, at this rate, I'll never be able to buy a home, and they just FOMO in. And that, to me, is a very big mistake. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is just my personal opinion and what my personal plan is and what I'm doing. But I certainly love to get a deal and just take a look at, like I said, no shortage. 100,000. You can go to the page 2, right? 118, 114, multiple buildings. You can pick your area of town. There's no limit to the options that you have here. Like I said, 175 listings. It goes all the way up. But here we are on page 3, page 4, and we're still not even hitting 200,000 yet. So page 5, there we go. We finally hit the $200,000 area, when we know that most markets right now, the floor price is around $200,000 and $250,000. So like I said, lots of opportunity, be it whether you're going to live in it. Like I said, with interest rates potentially going to, I've been saying this for a while now, that interest rates could rise, potentially double by this time next year. I think that's another reason why we're going to see the condo market in Edmonton thrive, is because the home prices have been rising to astronomical levels. And eventually we know what goes up must come down, right? And that it can't sustain itself that way. Plus, if interest rates are going up, people are going to have less money to be able to afford those payments, right? So if the prices are going up for the home and the interest rates are going up, well, there's nothing left to happen, but the prices of the homes must come down, because they'll eventually get a tipping point where people just won't be able to pay such high interest rate on such a high valuation on a home. So they're going to be forced into potentially buying, say, a condo, and who cares about some high interest rates on a lower mortgage, right? If you can buy a condo for $80,000 or $100,000 or $150,000, well, the interest rate of 3 or 4%, isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. But if you buy a home for $400,000 or $500,000, well, a double interest rate, the interest rate doubling is a big deal, right? And we know that times are tough right now. So personally, I'm very confident in this market. This is just personally what I'm doing. This is how I sleep well at night. And I really do think that there's a lot of investment opportunity, whether it be a rental property or just sitting on the property and waiting for it to appreciate.
All right, so let's take a walk inside the building. Whew, yeah, it's getting chilly out here today.
It's getting chilly out here today.
Hard to believe. Got this condo for $70,000. It sold in 2007 for $239,000. And then it sold in 2011 for $200,000. And that was back when the economy in Alberta was booming, in Edmonton specifically. I think they just overbuilt in terms of the condo market. They just overestimated. Just saturation in the market, I believe. This is the view from the kitchen.